Hey everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge, and this is Overanalysis Paralysis, where I take whatever aspects of popular culture and just overanalyze the shit out of that thing. And today, with the appropriate flag hanging up right here, right now, I wanted to talk about Kobe versus LeBron. Kobe Bryant versus LeBron James. Now, for those of you who think I'm going to sit here and talk about who's better than whom, that's not happening on this channel. This isn't what this whole video is about, and I know if it seems like clickbait, I'm not here to apologize because this is exactly what I want to do, is dissect the different aspects of leadership that these two provide, Kobe versus LeBron. That's what I want to take a look at today. Not statistical categories of who shot better than who had the fucking better three-pointer. I don't care about that right now. What I want to talk about today, though, is philosophy of war. Now, the crazy thing is, when I say philosophy of war, people immediately freak out. They say, oh my gosh, what are you talking about, man? There's no fucking war. What do you mean? No. When I say war, it's kind of the same thing as management. Okay, because in wars, right, let's see, essentially what you're doing in wars, you're maintaining resources, you're taking a look at, viable strategies to get forward and get to a certain goal. And, all these things sound like a corporation, all these things sound like management, but at the same time, it's also war, and it's weird, it's weird to just break it down like that, but absolutely, it's almost the same thing. Now, is there extremes like losing lives in corporate management? No, not at all. I'm just saying, though, there is similarities and parallels between the two. Now, having said that, because there is a very similar style in management, you can also see it in sports too. Management of in terms of leadership and all that shit. So I know that's a weird segue, but this is where I want to talk about LeBron versus Kobe. Now, I've been a Los Angeles Lakers fan since 1998. Okay, I mean, flat out. I've been in this country since 1998. I've been a fan of the Lakers since late '98, and I've seen this team, grow from, oh, we're almost going to be in the playoffs, to holy shit, we just won 3 in a fucking row, and you got to witness through his tenure, Kobe Bryant's 20, great fucking years with the Lakers. And his management style really showed up every year. Every year you could see the kind of management style Kobe's going for. And what kind of manager is Kobe? I like to call Kobe Bryant the Warlord. Okay? The Warlord. And the reason why I call him the Warlord is because Kobe Bryant is a silent but deadly leader. He will... And I know there are stories of him not being silent, but let me explain to you like this. He doesn't have to scream at you 90% of the time. He doesn't have to. All right. And I know a lot of barbarian warlords, if you take a look at popular culture or even like films and shit, how they portray barbarians, very aggressive, very dumb as fuck is the word we want to go out with. But Kobe Bryant brings on that dominant warlord presence on the court, or even just his general tone of leadership. It's all about, listen, I'm here. I'm fucking here. You fuckers have to get to my level. You have to prove to me that you can be on this level. Come to this level. And generally, a lot of warlords, there's an expectation of greatness from soldiers. For their soldiers, right? So the warlords expect a lot from their soldiers. And we've seen it throughout Kobe Bryant's history. We've seen it throughout Kobe Bryant's career. He's relying on guys like Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, Jordan Clarkson, Julius Randle. I mean, to successful extents, Pau Gasol. I mean, Sasha Vujacic. Fuck! But, that weird names, I know. But what I'm saying, though, is Kobe Bryant's persona always allowed for him to be the alpha dominant in the more oppression kind of way. And, people will argue, but the reality is he won back-to-back championships using his school of, management, his school of war. His philosophy of war is what got his soldiers down to winning that fucking fight in 2009 and 2010 against the Orlando Magic and the goddamn Boston Celtics. And so for Kobe to do that, it goes to show you it's a great form of management style. And I'm telling you, I've executed these kinds of things when I was doing my job. Granted, I wasn't a manager, but the way I managed people, the way I had people who were either training, under me or whoever had questions, I always wanted them to reach for the solution, reach for their solution. I wasn't going to give you the answer flat out. And if I showed you what the product was, I wanted you to fucking reach it for yourself. And the problem this management style has, though, and I can say this firsthand, you get looked as an asshole because you don't give out helping hands. You look at everybody, have this high expectation for people, and a lot of times, folks don't like pressure like that. Folks hate pressure like that. And you again, perfect example in Kobe Bryant. You've seen people just completely falter because of Kobe's completely dominant presence and his persona. And because of that, there were lull years, absolutely. There were absolutely lull years where Kobe, despite trying to do everything himself, despite trying to not really elevate his team, but try to force his team to elevate with him, it didn't bear fruit. And obviously, every management style has pros and cons. And this was the definite con of the Kobe Bryant school of thought. But now we move on to the LeBron James school of management. And unlike the Kobe Bryant Warlord, LeBron James is more of a peacemaker. Okay? LeBron James, same concept as a leader. In terms of leadership, they're both leaders. They're both outstanding leaders. They can lead men into battle. They're leaders. But their philosophy is very different because LeBron James is a peacemaker. Now let me explain to you why. LeBron James's game is predicated on what? Making the teammates better, the passing game, his physicality. He uses himself as a shield, as a pillar to have everybody else around him better. He understands that he is the prime target. He has all that, but he wants to get everybody involved. He wants unification and camaraderie in that sense of holding hands, of getting everybody to work together. At certain times, this is a fantastic management style. This is great because, again, if you include everybody, if you create that culture of everyone's included, everyone's going to do great, let's all give ourselves a round of applause, let's do this. It's a very positive environment. It could very well potentially be a very positive environment. But again, this comes down to really the ownership of the Cleveland Cavaliers back when LeBron couldn't succeed with this peacemaker mentality. But the great thing about the peacemaker mentality, though, is that you care about the individual pieces. You're not just unlike Kobe, you're not just brushing aside some guy because he's a weak piece of shit. You're kind of looking at him. You're giving him chances, and you're wondering what's going on here. Let's kind of extract that away from him and see if we can improve upon. And there is this nicety to it. There is this kind of PC-ness to it. And that has to really do with the fact that LeBron came into the league in the early 2000s. Completely different generation from when Kobe. And I understand, Kobe came, he was drafted 7 years ago, before LeBron James. But the generation of, NBA, the NBA culture from that gap, I think it's huge. Once LeBron started entering the league, the whole, the banana boat era came in, which pretty much meant even if you're in rival teams, we're still gonna have a great time off season. We're gonna, off the court, we're gonna have a great time. So the peacemaker is all about, communication with rivals and collecting ideas, being the wholesome person. But now, you're asking yourselves, this all sounds great. Peace is amazing. Peace is fucking great. Why can't we just? This is why LeBron's the best. I know people are gonna say that. I know people are gonna extrapolate from this that this guy's saying LeBron's the best. Kobe isn't shit. No. Here's the bottom line with the cons of the peacemaker. The peacemaker wants to make everybody happy. The reality is, not everyone can be happy. Okay, you have to have winners, you have to have losers. And in the peacemaker situation, because you want everybody happy, loyalty can get into your way. And when it's wartime, and let's give this example back into the NBA. When it's wartime in playoff mode, that peacemaker mentality can backfire on you tremendously. 2011 for LeBron James comes to mind. Just completely shitting the bed against the Dallas Mavericks and relying on the teammates, but him himself, not being elevated to that level. And whether it may be circumstances of the series or whether it was he just didn't have the juice, we don't know. But again, this is where the different philosophies have their pros and cons. Obviously, what I am here to do for you boys and girls today is to just shed light on the two different schools of philosophy that I think LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, shoot up for everybody within their team and whatever. But hey, this is just me. This is just one guy. And if you ask me who has the better school of thoughts, the better philosophy mindset or philosophy of management mindset, I'd say both. There is no one's better than the other. You have to understand, if you want to really be in that leadership role, if you really want to grow as that leader, you have to understand that there is pros and cons to every style of things you do, and it's really based on context. I believe it's very, very based on context, and if you take and can read context and understand that, hey, sometimes I won't have control. If you can kind of appreciate that and really learn from different school of management, different school of thoughts, I think that's going to make you a more well-rounded person and a better leader. There's no perfect leader, obviously, and it's just the process to being the better leader. So, what you guys think? You like that shit? Well, follow me at the SkyLounge on all the links in the description below for more shit, and comment and subscribe for more daily content. Now fuck off.